Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Snuff channel. In today's video we're doing the round 12 review of the NRL SuperCoach. And as you can see, it was a pretty good week for myself. 1,374 points, which was just outside the top 5,000 for the round. But I guess more significantly has catapulted us inside the top 15k, which also means we're in the top 10%. So obviously, we want to keep pushing onwards and upwards, but considering the slow start we had to the year, things are looking pretty positive. So if we have a closer look at the team and how they shaped up, so we won 2 out of our 3 leagues. So had someone beat me with a higher score than, was it 1370 or whatever I just said. So well done. But yeah, you can see Reece Robson as the vice captain obviously probably wasn't the best shout. I think I might have stuffed something up there, to be honest, but that's fine. 43, it's not his best effort, but it was a quiet week for a lot of the hookers, to be fair. As you can see, Harry Grant with a 34, and I read Marnie was in the teens. So, you probably didn't miss out on too much, whichever way you went at hooker this week. Obviously, if you had Appy Coruscant, I think that was the right one to get on, scoring a nice level 100 in that massive win against the Cows. In the front row, we had Payne Haas with 63, solid as ever. Harry Edwards, so he come off the bench, but still pumped out a 56. So, that's, I guess, why we brought him in. We knew he's going to get that solid base through workload alone. Joey Tarpany with a 47, so that's a bit disappointing, down on what we're used to him being consistently 60 or thereabouts, but, 47 is not the worst. And Wiremu Greg, so nice 58 from him. We'll really, appreciate that this week if he can get another, half century and some change. Dave Fafita, so 116. He just keeps pumping out tons. Looked really scary with how easy he got over for that try against the Dogs yesterday. I thought it was going to be a super long afternoon, but the boys turned it around, fortunately, and the Dogs got the chocolates at the end. Nicola with 61 and Preston with 62, so that's solid from our starting second row. Obviously, Tohu and Jackson Ford were on the bye this week. And then Josh Schuster, so 106. I haven't looked at his stats yet, just saw the 100 and just cheered for a while. But if we have a quick look, so he got a try, 3 try assists, 2 try contributions. So I guess anything where they scored, he was somewhat involved in, which is awesome to see. I guess we can't expect this every week because if you look, he only made 11 tackles, 4 runs. So if he's not getting those attacking stats, we are in a bit of trouble. But he'll definitely be playing for us this week. Nico Hines rather was the captain this week, and 71, is a solid captaincy score. But when you've got Cleary on the bench with 125, that hurts. So obviously, that would have been another 50 points on my score. Pushing up in the 1400s and pushing further up in the ranks. But you can't get them all right. Dylan Brown, so another 100 from him, 113 this week. So he's going to be a really important piece for us during the buys. Isaiah Katoa, so this one was a bit disappointing, only getting a 7. So again, haven't had a look at his stats too closely. I'm assuming, he only played 50 minutes. Maybe he got injured. That might be it. I'll have to have a look a bit closer. I didn't watch the game on Saturday night. So yeah, maybe, we might have to look at trading Katoa perhaps. Yeah, well, I'll have a look in a bit anyway. Ruben Garrick, so tunning up, so his price has skyrocketed. If you didn't get on last week, you're probably a bit flat this week going into the buys. He's going to be a really handy play for us. Lemuelu with a 50, so, solid base. That's what we expect from him. Paul Alamotti with a 41, and Billy Smith with a 24, so that's a bit disappointing. Obviously, we ended up playing the wrong player. We should have had Peachy. on field for an extra 30 points as well. And then the fullbacks, so Dream Buller, 124. That's fantastic. He's now made, 250k. Probably still has negative break even, yet negative 30. And there's going to be really good cover in the back half of the season. Back half of the Origin period even. And Tommy Turbo, so probably played his way into a New South Wales jumper, unfortunately for us, with a 165. So, I guess that's where a lot of our points came from this week. Yeah, unreal. 3 tries. What else did he get? Something else. There was lots. 3 tries, try assist. There's tackle breaks, there's line breaks, line break assists. So love to see it. So I guess in terms of how that affects us this week, probably start by getting rid of the reserves. And we'll just bring on the players that are playing. So obviously Haas is named in the New South Wales team. Yeah, they're on the bye. So we pretty much swap all 3 here. We don't have any halfbacks, but that's okay. We do have Katoa, so we'll put him on the bench. We don't have any fullbacks either now, which is a bit flat. We do have 3 backs, so we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 is 11, and so we only get the best 13 anyway. So if we can get away with doing 2 trades, I think that's what we'll do. Obviously, Katoa might be a bit of an issue, and actually might just look that up now while we're going. What's the casualty award? Here we are. Brandon Smith out for 7. So, you're going to have a bit of a different setup with the it's called stock market video this week. Just running a bit short on time with different things this week. It doesn't look like there's much going on there. Maybe just a tactical change. Don't know. Let's have a look at the draw. Go a bit deeper. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Where are we? Storm. Player stats. So 50. I guess having Milford on the bench, they wanted to get him some game time. So if Milford's named this week, we might have to get out of the Katoa pick. So that'll cost us another trade, but might not be the worst thing in the world either. Alright, so I guess if Katoa is named to play and Milford's not on the bench, I think, if we look at the players that aren't playing, we obviously want to hold Grant if we can, hold Haas if we can. Edwards will hold, we're making money. Fafita's a hold, Nikora's a hold. Preston we'd like to hold, but could be expendable. Cleary is a hold, so is Hines. Buller's a hold, Turbo's a hold. So it really comes down to, I think, our centre wing is where we're going to try and do most of our trades. Still 50-50 on Joey Manu, whether he's a hold or a trade. Yeah, can't decide if I'm being completely honest. But I think, and I guess the other thing, if we look at their break evens, Billy Smith's still got 8, Peachy 9, Almighty 15. None of them are really there to trade out. So I guess the thing we do have going for us is we do have a bit of cash in the bank. So yeah, I mean, guess what we could do if we really want to go all out is Peachy out and probably Manu as well. Gives us 1.4, so we can get who we like. So we could get Zarko Miller. Obviously, if we wanted to hang on to Peachy, we could get out of Smith, and that would still work, say, as the cheapest option. Won't quite work if we get out of these guys. So I guess the reason holding on to Alamotti is he does have that better buy coverage post this week. So Smith, Peach, and Manu will only play in round 16. They won't play again in round 19. Yeah, so I guess I would like to trade these two out. So maybe we sacrifice Azarko and we go a bit more of a cut price option. Um, but then I guess if we have a look at who we can afford, it becomes a bit grimmer. So the obvious choice would be the Hammer, but he's been selected to play for Queensland. Um, we can't look at any of these guys on the buy just because, we need someone that's playing this week. That's the whole point. And if we look by break even as well as the cheap options, like Moga's not playing. Tafare, if he plays, he'll definitely be picked. Burns, Ockenbaugh, both on buy, although I wouldn't go near Ockenbaugh, despite the recent rush in cash. Staines is out by Tane Milne. Could be a little cash grab. I suppose you only get 1 week out of him, so that might not be the worst shout. And then after that, they're all the bottom dollar cheapies. Jennings could get a run, I guess, with the Hammer being out. So I guess this position really will depend on team list, but ideally, it's this guy. Um, and then I guess we've still got 350k, so we could even have a little luxury. Perhaps I haven't looked at his price yet, but I can't afford him because he's not on the list. But Cody Walker, so we're 80k short of him. It's not ideal. What if we push Schuster in? We could get a Hopgood, or we could get, where's Matto? Yeah, we could afford a Madison. So this might not be the worst play either. And obviously this is dependent on being able to get to Fare. But we can take our pick. Hopgood's in 40% teams. Madison's only in 6, so go the nice pot option, I suppose. So 3 trades, and we didn't really want to do 3, but I guess we've done it now. So it gives us 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and Lockie Miller 13. So if we were to go with something like this, I guess Manly and Newcastle playing the last, so whichever one of these guys I suppose you want to start or bench. Might depend on who you want to captain, because captaincy option is going to be a bit thin. I mean, probably the obvious VC is Dylan Brown on Friday. And then I guess into Tohu on Saturday. Yeah, they'll like that. Probably just bank the safe captaincy option there. Yeah, can't see anything else too exotic I want to go with. Yeah, so I guess, Newcastle and Manly playing the last game means these sort of guys that would be really nice VC shouts aren't eligible. You have to back them in as captain. Um, but yeah, I think we'll go with that. But as I said, it is dependent on team lists. There will be a few rookies named if you look at the teams that are playing. The Cowboys are going to be missing Tuolangi and Val Holmes. So there could be a couple of cheapies in the back line there. Um, the Dolphins with the hammer out, as we said, we hope Tafare gets another run, but it could be wishful thinking too. Because you'd imagine a Zarko would go back to fullback and they'll bring in a winger, so like a Robert Jennings perhaps. Um, Manly will be missing Turbo, but you'd expect KO Weeks would just slot into fullback, so that doesn't sort of change their lineup too much. Uh, Kalen Ponga and Dan Gagai both named for the Knights. So if you like them, you could bring them in if you got the right position for Ponga. So 5'8" option maybe. Could have looked at him as an upgrade instead of Madison. Who else? So Parramatta obviously missing Junior Paulo means big minutes for Madison. Hot good. Um, Not quite sure what's going on with Joe Off and Hengawe, whether he's going to be available this week or if it was delayed longer term, that move from the Tigers to the Eels. Uh, yeah, I think that's about the sort of relevant stuff. Like I said, we'll look at team lists and the stock market video. Like I said, it won't be in its traditional format. I'll try something a bit different. Might go well, it might be terrible. But just given how busy this week is, it's probably the best I can offer you guys. But yeah, if you've got any thoughts on trades or players that I've clearly missed as targets, feel free to comment on the video, like and subscribe, um, or like the video, I should say subscribe to the channel. They're two different things. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.